Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes.
Free your mind.
This is Spitface. I can tell you, this is just like the out of the beat on Bronze Panties and Sports this morning. Fill it in for Dizzy Mac. Dizzy Mac is on an international tour. Oh, with them fine. I mean fine. Jimmy Shake girls. But we got the beautiful, the one and only first lady of sports talk, Cheryl Smith. And we got Joe, Midas Mind, Miller joining the panel, and we got Mr. Nate Griffin joining us from Sports Fox TV out of Houston. I'm going to tell you, the people we got, they looking good, and the First Lady is smelling great. First Lady, we ready. What you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as quarterback Ryan Mallett wishes he could fly far, far away from the Sealy Posturepedic mattress that had him miss a team flight, leading to him being cut. The woeful Texans don't have a quarterback controversy anymore, but they have a coaching controversy. The woeful Texans and the woeful AFC South seem to have lost any signs of being competitive. What's up with that? Can anyone from Bill Belichick's coaching tree actually be a successful head coach? Romeo Cornell, Josh McDaniels, Charlie Weiss, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, of course. I mean, the AFC South, I mean, come on. That's the worst division in NFL. They just have issues with some of the worst coaching. All right, let's start with Chuck Pagano. Now, Chuck was lucky he wasn't fired after that trick punt, well, if you want to call it a trick punt, against the Patriots. That probably was definitely one of the worst plays in NFL history. And the magic of Coach Pagano is gone. I mean, if you remember, he came back from cancer and he led the Colts to the playoffs, but I'm sorry, his number is up in Indiana. It's definitely up. I mean, maybe he can go back coaching the Miami Hurricanes. You know, they're looking for a new head coach, and he was there before as a coach. So I do not see Chuck Pagano coaching the Indianapolis Colts next year. He will be fired. Now, let's move on to Bill O'Brien and the Texans. I mean, what a beatdown they had from the Miami Dolphins. I mean, Romeo Cornell, yes, you're the defensive coordinator, and it was embarrassing how many tackles his team couldn't get the Dolphins. I mean, it was really ridiculous. And, of course, Romeo Cornell was a disciple of Belichick. He tried it as a head coach. It didn't work out. And I don't know, after the last week performance against the Dolphins, I'm not sure if he's working out as a defensive coordinator. It was uncandid for his team to have that many missed tackles. And Bill O'Brien, well, he's just hanging in there. I don't know. The Texans haven't really done anything. Gus Bradley.
He hanging in like some low-hanging fruit. Just ready to be picked off.
Just hanging in there. Now, coach, like Gus Bradley, now the Jaguars, come on now. This man has been the coach for 3 years, 9 wins, 30 losses. I mean, what is the Jaguars thinking? They need to definitely get rid of him as soon as possible. This will definitely be his last year. And finally, let me get to the final coach, Ken Whisenhunt. He probably has the most potential. I mean, give him a break. He's only been there for 2 years. He has a great quarterback in Mariota, so he has some potential. So I look for him to be given another chance. So, I mean, this is just terrible when you talk about this division and the coaching. So let me go over to our panel here. Joe, what do you think about this?
First Lady, let me say the AFC South isn't anything pretty to look at. But you're right. Tennessee has time. They're going to be all right. And honestly, and I think you're giving Jacksonville's coach a bad rap because Jacksonville may well win this sorry division. How in the world could you say Pagano is going anywhere when, of course, he's going to raise his hands at the end of the year and simply tell the owner, what could we have been if we had had offensive linemen? And Bill O'Brien in Houston. Listen, Bill O'Brien is one major decision from bringing the Houston Texans back to the top. The only thing he didn't learn from Belichick was how to work the edges. It's the gray lines that he's missing. You see, he coaches football, but the extra little stuff that allowed you to get breakaways on crossing patterns, decent rubs if you run pick plays virtually every play. You can make things happen. You can go. Now, you can't make Ryan Mallett get out of the bed, but you can get him off the team and make an example out of him so that the next guy gets out of the bed. When you actually hire a quarterback, which may come as early as next year, they all have more time, but unfortunately they all stand the selling.
Well, you're giving them some credit. I don't think most of them don't have time. All right, Nate, come on. What are you talking about these NFC South coaches? They're really terrible. AFC South. Excuse me, the AFC South.
Well, first of all, you have a little bit of a problem in the AFC South in that you can't really determine who is going to win that division. I think right now Indianapolis could be your clear-cut winner, and I realize you're talking about Chuck Pagano, who really kind of blew it on that special teams play. I don't understand that at all. But right now, believe it or not, the Texans are actually one game back of the Indianapolis Colts. And had they been able to pull off a win on last Sunday, just think, that division would have been tied at the top. So right now you have a little bit of an issue, and you also have a general manager that's having some problems in Indianapolis as well. So who remains there at the end of the season, I think, is yet to be seen. I don't think Chuck Pagano is going to have his job next year. In regards to Bill O'Brien, he actually wanted to cut Ryan Mallett Saturday morning, but that particular request was vetoed by Rick Smith. And the reason for that, and it makes sense, you cannot go into an NFL game without a backup quarterback. Just makes no sense. You have to have a backup quarterback. Unfortunately, Ryan Mallett was the choice because Tom Savage is hurt right now, and he's on injured reserve. So they finally decided to make a decision and bring back a guy who had been with the team previously. Finally cut Ryan Mallett on Tuesday. He is done and out of there. The thing is, I don't know what direction the Texans are going to take at this time. You look at a guy like Romeo Crennel has not been successful as a DC, at least this year. The Texans in 2014, 9-7 after finishing 2-14 the previous season with Matt Schaub as quarterback. And now they still don't have a quarterback. I do like this situation a little bit better, but when you listen to Romeo Crennel, and I was at the press conference on yesterday, he talked about taking better angles. The reason that his players in the secondary missed a lot of tackles is because they took bad angles. I just think they missed tackles. And it just looked like guys who weren't motivated to play. It looks like they were unprepared going into the game. The offensive game plan just did not suit that defense on Sunday, period, against the Miami Dolphins. So they weren't ready to play, in my opinion. And then Miami turns around and loses to New England on Thursday night. I mean, they just were not ready. And then Cameron Wake goes down with an Achilles tear. He's out for the year. I mean, it's just a lot going on, I think, in the AFC South. You look at the AFC East, you know, how good is it going to be? And then you talk about the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Let me give you some success stories in the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Names are familiar. Saban, Ferentz, Al Groh. But then you look at the ones who still having issues. O'Brien, Schwartz, Mangini, Crennel, Charlie Weiss. Pat Hill was successful. But that's your tree. And so now I'm sure, you know, when Belichick wakes up on Sunday to go coach a football game, he's wondering, okay, which one of my guys is going to be successful today? You know, period. There you have it. I mean, I can't really give it to you any better than that. And I had, we got a guy from Dallas talking about the Houston Texans. I believe is your quarterback getting ready to come back and play in the league? I mean, is Tony Romo ready to play?
Wait.
Is he going to be returning?
In the league.
I will give you this. At least you have a quarterback. At least you do have a quarterback. Look, Brian Hoyer, let's see what Brian Hoyer does against the Tennessee Titans. You guys talked about the Tennessee Titans. And yes, right now they're having a bit of a bad season. Mariota's hurt. He's not going to play tomorrow. Zach Mettenberger's getting the start.
Right.
So, I mean, bottom line, how good are the Tennessee Titans going to be tomorrow? And by the way, there's a question of whether or not J.J. Watt's going to play because he has a little bit of an issue with his back. So you got a lot of stories, a lot of side stories kind of sitting there by the side, and we won't know a lot of those answers until tomorrow morning when those guys take the field.
All right. Well, you said it all, but just because you are Bill Belichick's protege doesn't mean you can learn from the best and doesn't mean that you will be the best. So anyway.
Doesn't mean you can execute as the best.
That's right. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Well, first, I just wanted to say, brother Nate, you have got to tell me how you were able to get the burgundy lizard Valley from Switzerland, Karachi's with the crisscross. How did you do it? Man, we gonna have to talk offline because I see you be knowing. You must be married.
I must be married? Of course I'm married.
Now I know your secret. You got one of them good women. I should have known it. That's why I be trying to talk to First Lady. But I find herself. And she got a nice boot. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But the thing that I want to say is, first of all, how much money Ryan Mallett getting paid?
Well, his contract was for 7.5 million.
Now look. Now if you getting paid over 50,000, what time you want me to get up? And when will my coffee be ready?
That's right. You should be able to get up on time.
If you getting over $50,000 on your job, and they say, be there, you needs to be there. Now, my thing is, I'm going to be there with my croissant, and I'm going to have my cup of coffee, and I'm going to be sitting up there smoking one of them E-cigs. What's up, dogs? So I don't know what Ryan Midas Mind is. Obviously the boy has some, he wasn't raised right. I'm putting it on the pen. He wasn't raised right. Y'all didn't raise that boy right. Y'all gave him too many. See, that's the problem. You let him play video games. When you should have had him outside taking out the groceries in the trash. But that's a whole different stuff. The other thing is, I just want to say that, man, the AFC South kind of bad. And I think the Bears will win that division.
The Bears.
That's all I got to say, First Lady.
Okay. Well, we're going to get on to the next one. All right, Spitface.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion over the power and over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, Mama said knock you out, We are not talking about Bobo Olsen versus Kid Gavilan, Dick Tiger versus Gene Fullmer, or Roberto Duran versus Iran Barkley. We're talking about the knockout punch Greg Hardy. That's right, Midas Mind's boy tried to land on the special team and his coach. Glad Jerry Jones said he's one of the leaders. Does Greg Hardy get it? Is Greg Hardy simply getting his fellow Cowboys fired up? What's up with all that stuff on Greg Hardy's face? Is he trying out for Kiss? The Hardy boys, Gregory Peck, Laurel and Hardy's are asking, what you saying? I don't know what Greg Hardy said. All I'm knowing is I'm about scared of the brother. Now, look, I'm going to tell you something. He come up around me with all that stuff on his face. I'm leaving the room. Now, I don't know what it is. The brother he needs to go talk to Arian Foster and get on to a higher plane, because he's traveling. Joe, Midas Mind Miller, over to you.
You know, Spitface, Nate, First Lady, Greg Hardy is just an misunderstood young man. The national media has really gone on quite a rant about some accusations that he tossed some woman across a room onto a couch with a loaded gun, as if he was trying to hurt this lady. You know, I was born in Chicago. You throw a woman on a couch full of loaded guns, it's not trying to hurt her, it's a suicide attempt. I don't know how the national media got this screwed up. Here's where we're coming from. Greg Hardy, known here in Dallas as the Kraken. And Dallas, fortunately, with the help of Randy Gregory, will soon be able to fully release the Kraken, is a leader on this Cowboys team. You see, when you work hard for 3.5 quarters and your special team coach rolls out there and in one punt, you give Dwayne Harris a touchdown, and then in the return kickoff, you're like Cole Beasley, not cradle the ball, but put his hands up as he's catching a pass and completely put the final nail in the coffin. The special team coach is really somebody to be held accountable by Jason Garrett. Greg Hardy had the sense to recognize that Jason Garrett was too busy to chew the special team coach's ass right there at the spot. Greg, being a leader on our team, stepped up and volunteered for a short-time coaching position.
Oh, talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. Oh, my Lord. What color is that Kool-Aid you drinking?
I know what Kool-Aid. You're right about that, Nate.
I'll let you know, I can't believe we allowed you to continue with the soliloquy about Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy,
greatest thing.
There's no question that Jerry Jones bit the bullet when he decided to sign Greg Hardy. There's no question about that. Greg Hardy on this, and let me just say this. The NFL guys will tell you, because we did talk with our guys here with the Texans, they will tell you that these kinds of things happen all the time. Now, maybe the Texans don't have those issues because their team are good guys, and Bob McNair doesn't want to have any real issues with the team, if you will. That's about the best way I can put this. But at the same time, Greg Hardy, right now, he is the center of controversy. He is taking pressure off of Jerry Jones. Maybe that's why Jerry Jones decided he wanted to hire him. Or sign him, rather. I have no idea. But you should not have one of your defensive players as a center of controversy with this Dallas Cowboys team that right now does not have Tony Romo at the helm. If Tony Romo is playing and they're winning games, okay, that's fine. But right now, Greg Hardy is the center of attention of this Cowboys team. And unfortunately, the cameras happen to catch Greg Hardy in a dispute with the special teams coach. And then here comes Dez, who's not playing. Now, I understand Dez is the anointed leader of that team, not Greg Hardy, who just joined the team. Dez Bryant is the leader of that team. Greg Hardy needs to understand that he is a cog on the wheel, and he needs to pull back a little bit. Just a little bit. And please, whatever Kool-Aid you're drinking, stop drinking that Kool-Aid. Just stop.
Listen, what we have here is an admiration.
Either stop drinking the Kool-Aid or stop putting sugar in it. Because something's got y'all hyped in Dallas. Y'all call this man the Kraken? He's the Kraken?
The Kraken.
That's his nickname, the Kraken?
Nate, I agree with you because, I mean, when can a player cuss out the coach and be that disruptive on the sideline and the Dallas Cowboys leadership, Jerry Jones will call that leadership. I mean, come on.
First lady, like I said, it does happen. It does.
Yeah. But you get disciplined, though, Nate. It does happen a lot, but there is definitely some type of discipline when it happens. So, I mean, they didn't even explain him. Like you said, I think it's just a justification for the Dallas executives for their signing of Greg Hardy. because, you know, like
we
you
want
said,
the Kraken.
he is right now the unknown leader of the team. And it shouldn't be. I mean, come on, you got a problem player there, and I mean, to have him as your leader, I just think it was kind of ridiculous on the Cowboys executives to call him leadership. He displayed leadership ability.
I think Mr. Nate did kind of touch on it. Don't forget that the owner is the master marketer. He's been able to sell that the Dallas Cowboys is America's team and they ain't won a championship in how long? First lady, please take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us for a shout-out why the boxers mentioned or grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our friends at sportsacademy.com and an additional $25 card from our partners at NFLshop.com. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Davey Soul on the first part of Shout Out.
Free Mr. Vaughn. Hey, we want to give a special shout out to Nate Griffin of Fox TV Sports Houston for being on the show today. They had some terrible weather. He had to cut on out, but actually what happened was power on his side of town got knocked out. We wish the brother well, much love, and maybe we'll get him to come back again. Shout out, Nate. Love you, bro.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh, how adorable is that?
Edible Arrangements has a fresh fruit bouquet to make any occasion special. Our bouquets are made with fresh premium fruit, arranged in a variety of stunning displays. Make every occasion special with Edible Arrangements. Guys, the baby's over here.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, yes. And don't even think about touching my edible arrangements.
For pickup or delivery nationwide, call 877-DO-FRUIT, 877-DO-FRUIT, or go to ediblearrangement.com. That's ediblearrangement.com. Yeah.
Oh, my. What a nice looking baby you got there.
Make all your special moments. Moments with Edible Arrangements.
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from David B. Soul. I heard the brother swear he could sing.
All right, on Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give a track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. This morning, and he's here in our studios, we have David B. Soul out of Cincinnati with his album, One Man Show. So we're going to hear his first track. All right, DJ, let's hear I Love It.
Hey, look here, Charlotte. I'm not sure what you did to a brother, but I think you did something wonderful, you know? Now, I can't explain it. I think it might be love. It can't be love because it's way deeper than that. And I try to put it into words, you know? And hopefully I captured exactly what I feel. So check it out. Look. I gotta be around you with my sun and shades on, so you can see me staring at you. And all these others trying to get that play on. But you only want me. You got me so stupid, feeling like I'm losing it, and I'm tripping all over my feet. I'm lost in a daydream, hoping you feel the same thing. It should be you and me. You keep your hands and your nails done right. And baby, I love it. Baby, I love it. And baby, I love it. Baby, I love it. Everybody tell us 'cause you chose me. You know just how I like it 'cause you know me. I love it. 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 the things that you do. Girl, I get so excited. I'm cutting off all the other girls for you. If you promise not to hurt me, to always put in work, I can be the love of your life. I promise not to lie, and I promise to treat you right. There's so many reasons why. So right, baby, I love it.
All right, that's David B. Soul with I Love It, and that's a lot of soul in that. All right, let me go to the panel. All right, Joe, what do you think of David B. Soul's I Love It?
First Lady, David B. Soul is trying to get away with something that's old but new right here. He's trying to make music that actually doesn't demean the woman and is kind and sweet. And you might be too late, David, to be able to do that in America. We only know how to degrade our chicks. I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
All right.
But I'm going to
thumb it up. Okay. All right, Ronnie. Well, excuse me. Let me go to Spitface. Spitface?
Well, first off, I just want to say something, First Lady, that on the old Grumpy Radio Network, we don't never play no music that would demean a lady. That just ain't happening on this radio network, and I can promise you that we ain't going to play that kind of music. I don't know who else gonna play that music, but we ain't gonna do it. We don't care. We likes the ladies, especially when they're as fine as you. I mean, but other than that, I want to tell you, I think the brother can sing. Mm-hmm. I did not like the track. I think the track took away from his singing. The brother can sing. Forget the track. Get out there and just blow. Just because they could tone all that other stuff down. I wanted that the brother can sing. So I'm going to give it a shining star.
All right. Okay. All right. Is Roddy B there? Is our producer Roddy B? You want to give a comment on David B's song?
Nah, he's in the kitchen eating hamburgers.
Okay, all right. Roddy B's not there today. All right. Well, anyway, David, I want to give you a shout out on that. I mean, you can sing like Spitface said. As far as the track, I mean, it was all right. I mean, the music was fine. It sounded like an old school song with a little new twist. So I definitely thought it was great, though. I'm going to shout it out because you definitely can blow it. I like a man that can sing in falsetto also. All right, David, we appreciate you.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, well, you keep on. We're gonna have another performance from you in part 2 of Shout Out. And is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
Time for Flip It, where our host defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. This is Ronnie B back in the studio. First Lady, I had to send your buddy Spitface over to the Bluntly speaking set. They got a guest tonight. One of Houston's top comedians, Boris. That's right, Boris. Now, the Patriots just put a spanking on the Dolphins team that had recently came to life and reminded them who the big dog is in the AFC East, if not the NFL. They are the Super Bowl champs. The Pats are favored to win darn near every game this season. Will they end the regular season with a perfect record? We asked the panel to defend the Patriots on fire. And a perfect regular season is in the bag. A perfect regular season. Midas Mind defend.
Ronnie B, I can tell you that New England just looks unstoppable. And as I look out through the rest of what they got to play, Washington, Giants, Buffalo, Denver, who probably takes their first loss tomorrow, Philadelphia, Houston, Tennessee, and the Jets, finishing up with Miami. What can stop this train? I don't see it. I think they finish with a perfect record.
All right, you heard from the Midas Mind. First Lady, defend.
I mean, the Patriots, they have the #1 quarterback in the league that continues to age like fine wine. Tom Brady still has the competitive edge that will propel their high-power offense. I mean, there's remaining 9 games. And all of the games are against teams the teams currently have a losing record, except for the Broncos and the New York Jets. And they've already beaten the New York Jets. And, of course, Tom leads the head-to-head competition with Peyton Manning. It's not even close. Tom has won 11 times to 5 times for Peyton. So the bottom line, there is no stopping the Patriots. And Mercury Morris and the 1972 Dolphins, you need to move over because the Patriots will join you in the records as an undefeated team in the regular season.
All right, you heard your defense from the panel. It's in the bag. But we have to flip the script, and we ask the panel to defend. The Patriots will not have a perfect regular season. They will stumble at least once. Midas Mind, defend.
Let's not be ridiculous. The Patriots are not going to have a perfect record. They've been great up until here. Their only real competition has been Pittsburgh and Buffalo. But wait a minute. They do have to play Buffalo once again. And the fact is, they're going to be coming off of a game against the Giants when they play Buffalo. Here's the problem. When the Patriots go to the Super Bowl and lose, guess what? It's the Giants. It's the Giants. Even when they were perfect before, it was always the Giants. And now the Giants have Pierre-Paul back with all 8 of his fingers. There's no chance the Patriots get to the end undefeated.
All right, on that note, First Lady, defend.
Just ask the 1972 Dolphins how difficult it is to go undefeated during the regular seasons. And I mean, come on now. The Dolphins will remain the only team to have a perfect regular season record because the Patriots will have 2 teams that can ruin their chances. The game against the Broncos will be their first challenge. Now, we all know Peyton Manning is, falling behind Tom when it comes to head-to-head competition. And Peyton is well aware of this. But people get tired of always losing to terrific Tom. So Peyton definitely will be fired up to win that game against the Broncos. If the Broncos can't get it done, then the Patriots have to beat the Jets in New York. And I don't think so. I just don't see them beating the Jets in New York. I mean, come on. Now, the Jets almost beat them in Foxborough. They led until the middle of the fourth quarter, and they let the game slip away. I mean, the Jets are going to be determined against their nemesis. So this will definitely be the end of the streak. If it's not the Broncos, it will definitely be the Jets.
You heard the defense from the First Lady. But we have a little more flip it. But right now, First Lady, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Credit card debt was kicking my butt. Filing for bankruptcy was not for me. I spoke with those debt consolidation people who only wanted me to keep the debt I had for what seemed like a century. A friend said, "Your debt destroyed." I said, "What?" They said, "Your debt destroyed." They said, "Contact Sharon at Your Debt Destroyed and let her team of experts eliminate your debt while building up your credit worthiness." I contacted Sharon, and she put her team to work to destroy my debt with a plan that was easy to follow and gave me and my family peace of mind. Don't consolidate your debt, eliminate your debt. Contact Sharon at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call her at 888-431-2829, extension 2.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. All right, over to his Spitface back. Go ahead, Spitface.
No, he's still over there hanging out in the bluntly speaking set, but I got it, First Lady. Now, First Lady, we do have our 33rd Need to Grow story of the season. Wow. Those Need to Grows are representing. Zombie baby doll in carpool lane fails to fool Washington State Patrol. Now, I know it's Halloween, but let me repeat. Zombie baby doll in carpool lane. Okay. Tacoma, Washington. A man's festive attempt to cheat a Washington State carpool lane with a zombie baby doll earned him a $136 fine and Twitter fame for the doll. Trooper Guy Gill, Public Information Officer for the Washington State Patrol District 1, tweeted a picture Tuesday of the zombie baby doll strapped into the front seat of a man's car near Tacoma. Quote, "A trooper stopped this #HOV lane violator this morning near #Tacoma. At least he's in the Halloween spirit. #trick or treat. Gill." Gill said the man was issued a $136 ticket for violating the high occupancy vehicle lane rules. But they did give him a break for not having a car seat. Gosh darn, if water is splashing on you, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It, where our host defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The Atlanta Falcons have been playing great, but we wonder, are they the real deal or are they the great pretenders? Panel defend. Strike up the Platters music because this Atlanta team is nothing but a great pretender. Midas Mind defend.
Ronnie B, we see this almost every year out of Atlanta. They look like they're going someplace. They're hot, they're streaking, they're doing it. I remember all the way back to the Dirty Bird until it became a dirty word. The Atlanta Falcons are flying high. Let me tell you, if you play fantasy football, you're loving Devontae Freeman. He is doing his thing. Julio is doing his thing. Matt Ryan is actually Matty Ice, but he goes ice cold someplace in the year every year. And he'll start with a pick six someplace just about the time they're playing Minnesota. And once it starts downhill, it's the same old Atlanta. They're going nowhere.
The same old song. Digital Underground. Okay. First Lady. Strike up that Platters music. Defend.
And the Falcons are the great pretenders because they could have easily been 1-7 instead of 7-0. This team has won games because their opponents could not seal the deal and put them away. I mean, the Falcons have come back to win at least 6 out of 7 games. How can you be the real deal if you are always mounting a major comeback? A real contender is constantly out in the front and showing a strong performance against their opponents and not getting lucky and winning the games like the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. You heard the defense from the First Lady. Let's flip the script. Panel defend. As a famous coach once said, you are what your record says you are. The Atlanta Falcons are for real. Midas Mind, defend.
The Falcons are for real. Even though, they've had some history of falling apart late in the season. When you look at the rest of the season, you can see that they're on a roll. They've got Tampa, lowly Tampa, poor Lovey. San Francisco, my God, they want Jim Harbaugh back. Indianapolis, Pagano's gone next year. We know it. Minnesota, they know they don't have a chance with Green Bay in the division. They don't care. Tampa, they've got 2 games to play this year. Carolina and Carolina, 2 of the last 3 games of the season. So I don't really think they can possibly crater. They have to be for real. And in fact, of those 2 games, both against Carolina that they have to play, Carolina has one distinct trait that they even beat Atlanta at, and that is cratering at the end of the season. Atlanta's for real. They're here to stay.
All right. We heard the defense from the Midas Mind. But First Lady, what you say?
Well, the pundits may say Falcons should not be 7-0, but it is what it is. And they've won 7 games regardless of how they won the games. This team has the knack to make mistakes and play lackluster, but be able to adjust and win in the fourth quarter where it counts. It's not what you can do in the first half, but can you maintain your lead or come back from behind and win it in the fourth quarter? And the Falcons have done this in 6 out of their 7 games. This team has no quit. They do not panic when they get down. They know, they have the desire and the fight to win it all at the end. They are the real deal Holyfield.
First Lady has invoked the name of the Holyfield. All right, we heard the defense this week, and as a famous coach once said, your record says you are what your record says, and so we're going to move over to the First Lady. Now, First Lady, I think that the the hardball picks have already been made. It's just that the series hasn't ended.
Exactly. So we're going to move away from the hardball picks. And
so go ahead and just take us to break.
Yeah, on the other side of the break, we have another performance who's in our studio, Mr. Dave B. Soul on Shout Out. Please stay tuned.
This is Martin Lewis King Jr. I am an agent for Sykes, an agent for good. Sykes never lost faith in the competency, work ethic, and spirit of the American worker. Sykes created a company that provides employment that honors the dignity, intelligence, and fortitude of Americans. Sykes' success is a demonstration American workers can compete with any worker, anywhere, anytime, any place on the planet and produce results that exceed all expectations. Sykes is leading the way, providing the employment opportunities needed for American workers to grow and prosper in a global economy. Sykes, a leader in standing for the greatness of the American worker. That is a good thing. Sykes is an agent of good for the American worker and businesses around the globe. This is Martin Lewis King Jr. Keep listening and learn more about the dream and the future Sykes is creating for American businesses and workers in the new century. Visit us at Sykes.com. That's SYKES.com. Sykes.com.
You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the First Lady and the crew. First Lady, over to you.
We have another performance from Mr. Dave B. Soul. All right, let's hear Lock You Down.
Listen. Now let me hip you to what I'm feeling. Tell you all the things which I'm feeling. You make me feel so good in every way that sometimes I can't speak what I wanna say. But if anything, this one is true. Can't nobody love me quite like you can do. That's why I'm saying it should be me and you. You just let me know just what you want. I just wanna love you down so we can be together. I just wanna love you down. I'll make you mine forever. Hold you real close and never let go. Yeah. Don't lose control. Yeah. Now I am afraid to say I love you, but I will show you if you just let me through that I can be everything that you want and need. Just give me your heart and I'll make you believe. So if anything, this one is true. Can't nobody love you like I'm trying to do. That's why I'm saying it should be me and you. You just let me know what you want. I just wanna love you down so we can be together. I just wanna love you down. I'll make you mine forever. Hold real close and never let go. Make me love to lose control. I'll make you mine. wanna love you down so we can be together. I just wanna love you down. I'll make you mine forever. Never let go. Lose control. So we can be together. I just wanna love you down. I'll make you mine forever. Real close and never let go. Make you love till we lose control. I just wanna love you down. Real close and never let go. Make sweet love till we lose control. And I'll lock you down, lock you down, lock you down. I just wanna down.
That was Lock You Down, David B. Soul. All right, let's get to our panelists and see what they're thinking about this song. Ronnie B., what did you think about Lock You Down?
I thought that was moving and grooving. I love that you could hear David's voice. Really nice track. You could really appreciate his singing style. And see, that's one of those tracks you throw on when you got the little champagne and you and the cutie are gazing into each other's eyes, and if you can't take it from there, then you're gonna have to just talk to the Isley brothers.
All right, Joe, Midas Mind, what do you think of Lock You Down?
First lady, I gotta get out of shining stars on the first time.
Sounds like we're having a little technical difficulty with Midas Mind.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought he said he liked track. Okay. So let's move on. Well, actually, I thought I'm gonna tell you something. That was awesome. Awesome. I enjoyed that track. And it was very soulful.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
All right. Well, that's the end of Shout Out. Like you heard from David B. Soul. Check him out at davidbsoulonline.com. And we thank you, David, for being in the studio with us this morning. If you like what you heard and have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. It's time for the picks. I have been the NFL champ 3 times. Will this be the year I am undefeated? Well, I can't say not, because after last week's picks, I may be unseated right now. All right, so let's go through the results from last week's picks. Leading the way was Dizzy Mac. Dizzy Mac did real well. He had a total of... Let me get to my thing. He had a total of 4,475 points. Go Dizzy Mac. Go Dizzy Mac. Joe had minus 400 points. And what? Yeah, you had minus 400 points. Well, not as bad as I did. I had minus 3,325 points. That's what I get for picking the upset pick, and it wasn't an upset. 2 weeks in a row, I missed an upset pick. So anyway, let's get to this week's picks. Let's go to the games. 25 points per game for the winners. Giants versus the Saints. Joe, who do you have?
I need the Saints to win it, but the Giants are going to win it.
So you have the Giants.
Yes.
All right, Dizzy Mac has the Saints. I have the Giants. I think the Giants on a little roll, so I think they can.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I don't think it's all that tough.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, you say Giants gonna put a spanking on the Saints? Okay.
I didn't say it's gonna be a spanking. I just said they're gonna win. The Lions versus the Chiefs. Lions versus the Chiefs. This is a game of who's going to win this game? Because both of them are struggling, even though the Chiefs won last week, right? I think they did. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Joe, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Lions with this one. Stafford has his job back, so why not try the Lions?
Oh, so you can go with the Lions. Okay. All right, let's see. Dizzy Mac, he said he's going to go with the Chiefs on that one. All right, Chargers versus Ravens. Dizzy Mac is going with the Chargers. Joe, who you going with?
Chargers.
You go with the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Ravens. The Ravens are in deep trouble, and they need to win. And they definitely have to win a game.
Like the Chargers ain't in deep trouble.
Well, yeah, everybody's kind of struggling because these games are against struggling teams. Let's go to the next one. The Titans versus the Texans.
Oh, my.
Ooh, this is a battle of losers here. I'm going to go with the Texans. Joe, who you going with?
I've got to go with the Titans.
You go with the Titans. All right, Dizzy Mac has the Titans. Green Bay versus the Broncos. Two great quarterbacks. But Aaron Rodgers has definitely been the man this year, so I'm going to go with the Green Bay and Packers. And Joe, who you going with?
I am singing your song, First Lady. You just don't want to say that Peyton Manning is dying out of the league, but he is. So I'm going with the hot young quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay.
All right. Dizzy Mac is going with Green Bay. And finally, the Bengals versus the Steelers. Wow. This has always been a tough game. But you know what? I'm going to stick with them Bengals. They prove me right every week, so I'm going to definitely go with them. Joe, who do you have?
Big Ben is back, Steelers.
Okay. I guess Dizzy Mac feels the same way because he's going with the Steelers. All right, let's go to the scoop. Which quarterback will throw the most interceptions, Peyton Manning or his younger brother, Eli Manning? 1,500 for the correct answer, minus 800 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to go with Peyton. Peyton is going against the Green Bay secondary, so I'm definitely going to say Peyton is going to throw the most interceptions. Joe, who do you have? Eli or Peyton?
Peyton, the pick master.
Okay. And Dizzy Mac also is going with Peyton Manning on this one. Which team will give up the most points, the 49ers or the Cleveland Browns? 900 for the correct answer, minus 600 for the incorrect answer. All right, Dizzy Mac is going with the 49ers. Joe, who do you have?
49ers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers, too. They have definitely been struggling. So let's move on. Which team will have the most turnovers, the Colts or the Bears? 1,800 for the correct answer, minus 900 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to go with the Colts because you can count on Andrew Luck having some interceptions, and he usually has a few. So I'll go with the Colts. Dizzy Mac has the Colts. Joe, who do you have?
Is Jay Cutler playing for one of those teams? I'll pick the Bears.
You can go with the Bears?
Yeah, the Bears.
All right. Which team will have more rushing yards, the Seahawks or the Carolina Panthers? 900 for the correct answer, minus 800 for the incorrect answer. Well, Dizzy Mac is going with the Seahawks. Joe, who are you going with?
Beast mode was uncontrollable last week. I can't pick against him. Seahawks.
You can go with the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Panthers. Because, when you're talking about Cam Newton, because he's probably he rushes a lot himself for yards, and I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one. Even though I know they Seahawks have beast mode, I'm going to still pick the Panthers. All right, let's go to the upset. Oh my goodness, these upset wins have been really killing me week to week. Buccaneers will upset the Falcons. $3,500 for the correct answer and minus $2,500 for the incorrect answer. No, I don't think the Buccaneers will upset the Falcons. What do you think, Joe?
I think this is where I get back in the game. The Bucks get the Falcons. They are going to fade. Come on, Bucks.
You got the Bucks. Okay. You got to stay away from the upset, Joes. All right. Dizzy Mac has no. The Bucks will not upset the Falcons. The Colts will upset the Panthers. I am definitely going to say no on this one. Joe, who do you have?
No. The Panthers will win that game. They will not upset the Panthers.
All right. I have, actually, no, Dizzy Mac said no, and I also said no. So we'll see how we do next week regarding these scores. And before we go, it's time to find out what we missed this week. Joe, Midas Mind, what did you miss this week?
I messed around and read an article about Jeremiah Ratliff in Chicago, and I had no idea that he had far worse problems than the Kraken does here in Dallas. He threatened to kill everybody at the Bears facility. They knew he had plenty of guns. He just tore the place up, clown, kicked down a clock. He had run Tressman out of there, and in fact, Tressman had even made him a leader. Unfortunately, hopefully this is not a sign Jerry Jones has made a mistake. Last year before he got axed, and Ratliff went off again. I am surprised that our young men are clowning this way, killing their own money. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ronnie B., what did you miss?
I missed Ohio State University quarterback J.T. Barrett being charged with, suspended operating a vehicle while intoxicated. The quarterback first attempted to evade a sobriety checkpoint before he was pulled over and ultimately registered with the site described as being slightly over Ohio's legal limit of .08. J.T. Barrett suspended one game.
Okay, well, I missed the double overtime victory of the OKC Thunders over the Orlando Magic. That was a fabulous game for the early part of the season.
Wow. Yep.
Double overtime. They was making shots out of the rosters on that particular game. All right, this has been Cheryl Smith, and you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.
This is Spitface, and we want to give a special shout out to Nate Griffin of Fox TV Sports Houston for being on the show today. They had some terrible weather. He had to cut on out, but actually what happened was power on his side of town got knocked out. We wish the brother well, much love, and maybe we'll get him to come back again. Shout out, Nate. Love you, bro.